This is our video presentation for IST 302 on Project Cost Management by Adrian Chung, Abhinav Kalavar, Brandon Shipley, and Jim Wood. What is Project Cost Management? Project Cost Management includes the processes required to ensure that a project team completes a project within an approved budget. It is the project manager's responsibility to have well-defined projects, have accurate time and cost estimates, have a realistic budget. Why is cost management so important? IT projects have a history of not meeting budget goals. 3 separate surveys of software cost overruns found the average cost overrun for all projects in their survey was 33 to 34%. A 2011 study published in the Harvard Business Review examined 1,500 projects. The study reported an average cost overrun of 27%. It was discovered that a large number of projects contain a black swan, a high-impact event that is rare and unpredictable, but not improbable. Project cost management is comprised of 4 processes: plan cost management, estimate costs, determining the budget, and control costs. Planning cost management is determining the policies and documentation to be used for planning, executing, and controlling project costs. Estimating costs is the estimate for the cost of resources needed for the project. Determining the budget establishes a cost baseline for the entire project. Controlling costs involves monitoring and controlling changes to the approved budget. Planning cost management is the first of the 4 cost management processes and is heavily based upon the project charter. The cost management plan should include all the following information. The level of accuracy is the determination of rounding guidelines and the amount of contingency funds. Units of measures are simply defining different units to be used. Organizational procedures links include verifying that teams understand the control account codes, and control thresholds determine the cost variance allowed. Other information to be included in the cost management plan are rules of performance measurement, which define measurement rules such as frequency of tracking costs. Reporting formats determine the format and frequency of cost reports required. And finally, process descriptions simply describe how to complete the 4 cost management processes. Estimating costs accurately is one of the best ways to remain within a project's budget. There are 3 types of cost estimates. The first is a rough order of magnitude, which is the least specific estimate. This estimate is done early on and is typically negative 50% to a positive 100% of the true budget, meaning it could be up to 50% cheaper than this estimate quotes, or on the other side, up to twice as expensive. The budgetary estimate is more precise than a rough order of magnitude, generally with a range of negative 10% to positive 25%. The budget estimate is used to allocate funds for the budget. A definitive estimate is the most accurate estimation with a range of 5 to 10%. And definitive estimates are used for making purchasing decisions. There are different techniques used for estimating costs. There is no one-size-fits-all method to estimating costs, and therefore it is important to analyze and react to each project appropriately. If a similar project has been completed in the past, an analogous estimate may be appropriate. This technique estimates costs based on the cost of another similar project. If the project is much different than any others completed, a bottom-up estimate may be more useful. A bottom-up estimate estimates costs based on activities required and bills up to completion, summing the cost for each activity. 3-point estimates estimate the most likely, best case, and worst case costs for activity costs then use an average or Monte Carlo simulation to produce the estimate. The parametric estimating uses a computer model to calculate estimations. Parameters entered in the model would be things such as the price per line of code or the cost per workstation. Typical problems with IT cost estimates. Estimates are often done too quickly and are done before the requirements for the project have been completely established, making it very likely the estimations will be inaccurate. Many IT professionals do not have much experience estimating costs. Humans also have natural tendency to underestimate. Management often wants more accurate numbers, despite the numbers being estimates. The overall goal of determining the budget for a project is allocation. By using the cost estimate and the activities present in the work breakdown structure, the cost of material resources or work items can be budgeted more appropriately. These allocations to tasks or resources are then broken up into intervals. This cost allocation by WBS item over time is known as a cost baseline and is the most important product of cost budget. Cost baselines make it easier to analyze cost performance, and in turn, easier to control costs. Controlling costs is an essential component to a project cost management. It includes monitoring cost performance, ensuring appropriate product changes are included in the cost baseline, and informing project stakeholders of authorized changes that may affect costs. There are inputs and outputs that are factored in controlling costs. Inputs consist of project management plans, project funding requirements, work performance data, and organizational process assets. The outputs of this process includes work performance information, cost baseline, cost forecast, change requests, project document updates, cost management plan, and organizational process asset updates. Earned value management is a systematic approach that integrates scope, time, and cost data. Planned value is the approved value of the total cost estimate to be spent on an activity during a given period. Actual cost is the total direct and indirect cost incurred for the actual work completed to date. Earned value is an estimated value of the work actually completed to date. Cost variance is the earned value minus the actual cost. It provides information on whether the project is over budget or under budget. Schedule variance is the earned value minus the planned value. It provides information on whether it took longer than planned to perform the work required, or the work took less time than planned. Cost performance index, used to estimate the project cost of completing the project. Schedule performance index, used to estimate the projected time to complete the project. Budget at completion, the original total budget for the project. We thank you for your time. This concludes Team 4's presentation on project cost management.